from Electra Protocol, and I want to give you a very warm welcome to our AMA session. In this last year, we have gone through many changes and have made a lot of progress as to where we want to be. Electra Protocol was born. We developed a mobile wallet. We were added to a tier 1 exchange. We made changes to our blockchain and wallet. And this was all done in a very short space of time. Most recently, you would have heard about a new company called Evoblox. We decided to give the community a chance to ask all their pressing questions. And we took all these questions and found different topics. And we've grouped them together. And we will address each of these topics. So hopefully, as the core members talk through the different topics, they will answer all your questions. And by the end of this AMA session, all your questions would have been answered. So I hope you are all sitting down and having a cup of coffee, drinking some wine, relaxing, and of course, your ears are opened so that you can listen to all the answers that we have for you. So enjoy this time with us, and I'm going to open up firstly with Aykut, and Aykut is going to talk a little bit about the pre-mine and what happened when Electra Protocol was born. Aykut, over to you.
Thank you very much, Ryan. Well, guys, this is Master Dan. So it's me, Aykut. Like Ruan explained a bit, we received a lot of questions and we tried to consolidate some of them into groups like the pre-mine, the funds, the marketing, developments, business. There were a lot of questions, so we will try to go with a summary, through a summary, because otherwise we won't. The time won't be enough for us to answer here. It will take hours and hours. We can discuss many hours on each question, even. So it will be best to just go through the, say, consolidated questions at a time. So when we're checking, we received a couple of questions, for example, regarding to pre-mine. Uh, if, let's say, the rich list, if it can be transparent, and what's being done with it. As you know, earlier we didn't have the chance with the pre-mine before during the ECA times. However, with ZEP, Electro Protocol, we create our pre-mine at the beginning. And from this pre-mine, we spent a couple of expenses like exchange listings, some marketing expenses, some exchange marketing and market maker expenses, some rewards, some bonuses, especially as you know, as you remember, the pre-sales bonuses as well, they have been paid. But at the same time, you can also see that the pre-mine is labeled into 4 different addresses, and these addresses contain the amount of coins which will be spent during that year, or let's say allocated for that particular year, certain year. However, it seems as you know us since 3.5 years, we really take care about the funds during spending, so we don't waste the coins, we don't waste the money of this project. So it seems that um, these existing, let's say, labels, like the next year, the year after, these labels will be maybe postponed, will be shifted to another year. But however, um, as you know, during the ECA times, we had some portion of the pre-mine which was under the control of the foundation. Now, we will have another foundation, a new foundation, and all the money, all the pre-mine will go into the hands of the new foundation. And the new foundation will define how they will manage the transparency of the funds, whether they can put it on their website, or they can do a reporting each month or in a regular updates. it will be depending on them. Um, we have a question here, the same, maybe I should explain about it. Does the team ever met in person? Yes, some part of our team members, they came together. As you know, we are not a centralized project. That means we are all coming from different countries. I think we are more, the team is, let's say the core team is consists of 10 different nationalities. So not all the team members could be able to come uh, together. However, partially, like in France, in Germany, in Austria, our members, core team members, could met each other. These are the things right now from my side. Now I'm giving the word to Genoa Antoine, and he will carry you to further questions. One.
So yes, hello everyone. So I will cover the technical questions, or technical, let's say the blockchain questions. Um a question that has been asked several times. So the topic, we have the topic of the validators nodes and the topic of smart contracts. So these two topics are two big ones, as everyone can imagine. Um, It's a complicated topic. I won't give a release date tonight. I won't say it will be available in, I don't know, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. No. What we do for now and what we have to do. The first thing, if the validators node and the smart contract layers were built under the Electra Protocol way of working, let's say, it would take years because it is a very important job, and it would cost a lot of money, a lot of time development. Well, you get the point. So what we decided, what we do, and this will be the first time we will talk about Evoblox, is to move the development of the smart contract and the validators node under Evoblock control, and Evoblock will act here as a contributor of A2A protocol. So we have a planning for the development of these two things because validators node and smart contract are absolutely mandatory for our business side. We will develop the smart contract at first. It is a work we already have started also. It is a work of several months. I'm not talking about 6 months or 1 year. No, it's a work of several months still. Um, yes, to get the main layer of smart contract. Then we will start to integrate the current code of validators nodes into Electra Protocol blockchain. This will happen most likely in second part of next year. This estimation of release are also really estimation. How to say this? Things are moving very fast currently for all of us, so things can be maybe accelerated in a significant way, let's say. So for now, what we have planned is a few months to develop the smart contract, and second part of next year's will be the validators node. I won't either give a collateral for validators node. I know it's a question that came back several times as well, but we can't. We can't give a collateral amount for the simple reason that the market today will absolutely not be the same as the market in 6 months or in 1 year. So the amount we would say today won't be accurate anymore in time of the release. I check quickly the question about this. Yes, I have some question about the smart contract themselves. So yes, smart contract, we will be able on Electra Protocol blockchain to do all the classic stuff of smart contract, starting, for example, by the NFT. NFT are pretty well known in crypto, but the way we want to use them, it's a bit different. We don't want to use NFT to create images or fun stuff, such things. We are planning to use NFT for very more rational things. It's something I can't explain in details yet because there is several NDA and ongoing progress. But yeah, definitely when we will release this and announce our first use case, let's say, you will understand. I see a question as well on this topic about DeFi. This is not something we are looking out. For simple reason, but DeFi is absolutely not secure enough, at least for us, to manage this. So it won't be part of the Evoblox company, let's say. Anyway, all the other point, yes. Wait, yes, okay. So this was for the validators node and the smart contract. So from 6 to 1 year max for both features released. I got some question as well about the stacking. A simple question: is it? Someone asked if it is technically possible to change the ratio, the 3% yearly. Yes, it is, but it has been said for a simple reason: it's to control the inflation of Electra protocol. Some projects have a higher ratio, a bigger ratio, like 10%, 20%, 30%. So it's nice, you get more reward, but at the same time, yet you have a bigger sell pressure on the market. So you may have more reward, but you have way more sell. What can happen in the market, and this is something we want to avoid. We want a smooth generation of XEP to yes. So when we will start to grow significantly, it will be smooth and it won't be a bump and dump chain and such things. It's also not the only reason, of course. When we have set up the blockchain at the very beginning, and we have to decide the percentage of the reward, we already had in mind that we will include the validators node in the process. So as we wanted things to be fixed, so the stacking reward of 3%, we set it since the beginning of the chain at 3% with in mind the validators node reward, and so to have a global reward eventually. So we had this in mind already at the beginning. For now, we are thinking about 5 to 7% of reward for the validators node plus a fixed XEP amount on top of it. But it's just an option. As I said earlier, it's a bit too early to decide of the reward and decide of the collateral and such. I got a question also. Yeah, oh yes, it's quite interesting. Someone asked about the website, about Electra Protocol website, why it is very technical website. There is a lot of technical stuff, but not about the solution built on top of Electra Protocol. So the reason is pretty simple. It's there is a global goal that we want to achieve, which is the use of Electra Protocol in the everyday life. And for this goal, we have two parts. We have the Electra Protocol project, which will be represented by the foundation then, and will manage the blockchain, the exchanges, and yeah, all the crypto part. And on this, of course, the blockchain, the technical things, and such over the time. On the other part, on the other side, there is the company that some of us have created, Evoblox, and this company will create the product using Electra Protocol blockchain and will market them. So both get exactly the same goal eventually, which is a global use uh, of Electra Protocol blockchain eventually. And so this is the reason. Oh,
Oh,
Mino. Okay. So this is the reason why Electra Protocol website is more technical, and the solution, the product, will be on Evoblox site. You have to see this like a global environment. So stacking, okay. Another important question, interesting. Someone asked about Rosetta, the Rosetta protocol, and the integration of Electra protocol inside. So those who don't know Rosetta protocol, it is a API, a global API that allow external parties, so third party, to interact with the blockchain. This Rosetta protocol is, for example, used by Coinbase, the exchange Coinbase. So, exactly for this reason, it's something we have started and is almost finished to integrate Electra protocol. So, Ruan did it. It's in Golang, Go language. We have built Electra protocol inside the API, and we are now in the testing phase. We have to make several tests before to finalize and then submit to Coinbase, of course. Yes, another important point as well. Several questions also about the mobile wallet and the stacking. So, facts first. The current mobile wallet, it is a light wallet. So it means it is not designed to support the stacking, as it doesn't include the whole blockchain. You download only the blocks, the transaction that are related to your wallet. The mobile wallet is connected to an Electrum server, and yes, it interacts only on the transaction you need. But it's something we have discussed with John, the developer who manages our blockchain. In one of the next version of the desktop wallet, we will have the option to build for Android a mobile wallet. This mobile wallet will integrate the BIP39, so the mnemonic stuff, as well as the desktop wallet. So here you will be able to get the same wallet in the desktop and in the mobile. And this mobile wallet, it will be a sort of copy of the desktop one, the one you use on your Windows or Mac, but built for Android. There won't be the Mac, the iOS wallet also. It's not compatible. But well, with this Qt mobile wallet for Android, we'll be able to stack, but this is something that we will never promote or advise for simple reasons. It's to stack on a mobile wallet, you have to keep it online. Yes, I know, Crypto EJ. My accent is not very good. Sorry. So yes, mobile wallet will have, like the desktop wallet, to be online and to be connected all the time. So it can damage eventually the battery and use your storage a lot. But we will give the option. So this is okay. And last question quickly. About the tip bot, so I guess in Discord, the question was for Discord because on Telegraph we have one made by some, yes, some members. We have an option for the Discord tip bot. Uh, we didn't confirm it yet, but because we have some concern and we will check this and decide if yes or not we will integrate it eventually. So this is all from my side. Normally, yes.
Antoine, I
Yes.
can take the
Yeah.
and we move to the awareness part. Okay, guys, once again, it's me, I could. So, we received also questions about the awareness, especially awareness and the marketing and exchanges, the visibility of Electra Protocol, YouTubers, influencers, budgeting, everything. Well, um, as you know, this is a community project. That means it's something like Bitcoin. And the team is basically leading the project, and the team somehow trying to utilize the project resources in the best manner. However, the real power is on the community side. So this should be very clear that we are repeating this each time, but however, this is the reality. As we don't, as we never had an ICO or an IEO, so we have some limited funds. Oh yes, with the pre-sale, we sold some ZEP during the initial launch of Electro Protocol. That was not very much, but that is still enough to cover the cost of this project during the next 10 years. I mean, the next 10 years, it can survive without any issues. However, at the same time, we have some pre-mine, which we don't sell right now. This should be also very clear. And we try to use our resources. Resource means that man resources. We have pre-mine resource. We have this pre-sale resources like what we sold, and we have in our hands some Bitcoin and some USDT. So we have to be really careful about this because we want that this project should be sustainable during the next 10 years. This is something important. So in terms of marketing, we do something as well. So in the background, don't think, please don't consider that the team is doing nothing. However, we have to um, analyze all the proposals because we obtained several proposals during the last 2 weeks. Several YouTubers, Twitter accounts which are trying to help us with the marketing. Some of these accounts are really good. I mean, they are top accounts, some YouTube accounts. However, the cost is extremely high. So we have to judge if this really makes sense to have just a single video or not. At the same time, it same applies to the Twitter accounts as well. I mean, they are ready to promote. You may have seen recently someone else just popped up in the group and said, "Yeah, we have 550,000 followers. We want to promote." However, these accounts are usually mainly followed by bounty hunters. They're just doing retweet and likes, and this is turning in their own circle. So that doesn't bring much added value to our project. You can be sure that we are still in contact with several different groups, marketing groups, including YouTubers as well. So in the next couple of weeks, I hope we can decide on a couple of them and we can give the start. It may happen in 2 days, it may happen in 1 week or something like that. So we don't want to give a concrete time right at the moment. What we do beside those, we also discuss with the media agents outside the cryptosphere because we want to bring Electro Protocol to real world players. what you see right now in this crypto market is just turning around all the time, the same in the same loop, and projects are supporting, making partnerships with each other, and at the end of the day, you don't see a real use case. What we aim is to bring this visibility of the real players to Electra Protocol by, let's say, hiring real media agents. And our team members, they had meetings with two different media agents, recent agencies, let's say, 2 weeks ago, and we are still in contact with them. They sent us their proposals, and we are right now analyzing those, and we will see how we will go together with them or not. On the other side, as you know, Evoblox, which is a separate entity, however, a supporting entity for Electro Protocol, they're also pushing that Evoblox is also pushing Electro Protocol very much. Once again, to real companies. Um, and this, as you remember, during Panama meetings, the team over there explained about Electro Protocol, about the possible improvements of their monetary system, how we can help the Panamese government in terms of other, let's say, legal stuff, documentation, procedures, and these meetings were really, really efficient. And for the September, we agreed to meet with these teams through online Zoom calls once again to continue our meetings. So please don't think that we are doing nothing. However, in fact, there is a lot of things going on in the background side. Um, on the other side, I can see here about if there's a marketing budget or not. Well, like said, like explained a few minutes ago, we are already in contact with several YouTubers and several Twitter accounts as well. And we want the best return, by the way. So when we spend $100, uh, we need to get $1,000. I mean, in return. In return of, let's say, more members, maybe more buyers, potential investors, more loyal community members. This is our aim, typically. Let me see if we have another things. Yes, by the way, regarding to this awareness, for example, like one of the let's say partner company which we are working, which we started, it's a cashier system company, and now we are heading to the manufacturer of these cashier systems. So we will start preparing these flyers and brochures where the customers, it can be a coffee shop or it can be a restaurant, so that they will be able to see that that certain merchant is accepting crypto, where the Evoblox payment solution is being used. So it will also increase the awareness to Electro Protocol as well. So, but what we are doing as a team, we are really, I mean, few people. The community can do much better. So we are ready to lead. We are ready to spend some amount of our pre-mine and resources for the marketing. However, we always need your support at that point. Please don't forget this. I think I covered already this awareness part. Now I'm giving word to Robert.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hear you.
Okay, let me get back to my screen. Actually, yeah. All right, so there were actually a couple of questions coming in about Evoblox and the relation of Evoblox to Electra Protocol. were some questions about how many NDAs are currently held, or how do you say that in English? How many NDAs do we currently have with other businesses or projects or governments? Who knows? So what I'll try to do is in my story, I won't read all the questions, but with what I'm going to tell, I hope to cover all the questions and its answers in one go. So what I wanted to tell you guys is that back in the ECA days, back in 2018, I remember one of the first discussions when I entered in the team was already about budgets. Back in the day, we had a pre-mine that was in the hands of one guy that we didn't know, and we were fully reliant on whether or not he wanted to donate. In a later time, in 2018, we set up the foundation and got 1/3 of it, but still it was in ECA. So it was really hard to free up those funds, because whenever you need the funds, you need to sell off. So I remember back in the time we had huge discussions about these budgets, the longevity of the project. How long can we sustain ourselves? Because we obviously have a lot of cost. Sometimes you need to hire developers, and how are you going to pay them? Sometimes you need to pay for servers, where the mobile wallets are running on. Who is going to pay them? So it always has been a discussion, and I remember that also in 2018, end of 2018, we already had the idea to use our conceptual ideas around ElectraPay as a money generator for the project. Well, years have passed, a lot of things have happened, and that idea never went away. I think everybody can agree right now with the new influx of projects that have huge bags from investors, but also from IEOs and all those kind of seed investment rounds. It's really hard to compete. So it is a big necessity that we find a way to generate income as a project. And since the project is not allowed to generate income, because a foundation will be the representative of the project, and the foundation cannot make money and only live on donations, it was inevitable that at a certain point in time, the question would be asked to the community: listen, guys, use the XCP blockchain, the Electra Protocol blockchain, and start making your company start earning money. And when you do so, keep the project in mind and donate to the foundation. So a couple of team members actually took this initiative and created Evoblox. And the idea is basically simple. Evoblox is just a company that is going to use Electra Protocol technology to generate revenue, to drive a business, to make money. And by doing so, we want to make money, we want to make profits, and a part of the profits will be donated to the foundation. And the foundation on that end can ensure the longevity of the project is okay. The foundation can set development goals for developers and reward them, actually, which is a luxury that we never had. On Evoblox side, the first of hopefully many companies to come, it is also really important that the Electra Protocol project keeps on existing and keeps on succeeding, and especially keeps improving. So just to give you an example, let's say that we get a client, we get our investments and we get a client, and this client wants something really specific. He wants product traceability on mangoes, and he wants a very important use case, very difficult one. And for that, he needs a specific type of smart contracts, and I don't know what else they need. If Evoblox wants to be able to facilitate this request, Evoblox will need to develop certain technology. This technology will be paid for by Evoblox. It will be developed on Electra Protocol, and as such, Electra Protocol has a second way of benefiting from the success of Evoblox, because Evoblox will act as a contributor to the Electra Protocol project, right? Also, Evoblox, which is, as you understand now, a separate business entity and is detached from the project, Evoblox will always be built on Electra Protocol. It will always have XCP as a default currency in any solution that is built. And what we are trying to do is think in any way possible of having XCP as a business case for any business case that we have to do for our customers. So I hope everybody understands that Evoblox is a logic consequence of the need that Electra Protocol has or had, the lack of funds and the lack of influx of new funds. So where Evoblox is going to be vital for for Electra Protocol, Electra Protocol will also be vital for the success of Evoblox. So in that way, these two entities are married together. And as I said, I hope that in the future, many more people will start a business using this technology. So the ecosystem or the Electra Protocol driven companies will keep on growing and growing and growing. And it will be like a snowball effect. So I hope this explains it a little bit. And then somebody asked, what is the use case of XCP? Well, in one hand, it's maybe difficult to explain. On the other hand, it's actually quite easy to explain. Electra Protocol is an open source project, which means that it has a technology called the blockchain, and there's a coin built on the blockchain, and basically everything that you can think of using it for, it can be a use case. So right now, XCP is used as a transaction possibility, a payment currency, for example. XCP is also being used in a proof of concept with the oyster farms in the west of France, a successful concept where transactions are used as a timestamp, so products can be tracked during the entire life cycle of a project, which is another use case. Once the smart contracts is built on top of the chain, which should happen in a couple of months, the amount of use cases are endless. So I read about Lion and Panther, I believe, about the NFTs. Guys, if you want to start an NFT project or if you want to start an NFT topic using the Electra Protocol blockchain with smart contracts, be my guest, start it. And maybe even talk to the guys from the foundation for maybe a seed investment. I don't know. Why not? There are plenty of possibilities, and the amount of use cases in potential will be huge. The use cases that we are going to use for Evoblox will be limited because it's really important for a company to focus and become really good at a few things that you're going to do. So right now, the points of focus, the business cases we want to be focusing on will remain transaction and remittances, as well as product traceability. So with transactions or remittances, just think of building an ecosystem where people can easily transact money in any way possible. And, in the Western world, there's not much, not big difference to make. But when we went to Panama with a group of people from the project, you see that there are a lot of people that don't have access to the financial world because they don't have a bank account. In some countries, even over 60% of the people don't have a bank account. And that's where you can make the difference, just like Jack Mallers is doing, in El Salvador. And the world is so big and there are so many people. And when you go to Africa, the majority of people don't have a bank account, but the majority of people do have a mobile wallet. And this is our advantage. And this is where we want to be focusing on. The other point of focus is, as I said, product traceability. And I will elaborate a little bit on that. The world is focusing more and more on sustainability, sustainable finance, but also the sustainable way of making products, equal pay, you name it. Everything that has to do with sustainability, equality, and care for nature is getting more and more important. And that is also a result of the Green Deal, the Accord of Paris. Everybody's moving to that. Countries have their own sustainable development goals, SDGs. Banks have to comply with sustainable finance regulation. So this is a need that is going to grow and grow and grow. And what we notice with the point of concept with the oyster farm is that there's a growing need, not only in the consumer base of goods and products, but also the distribution side and shops and supermarkets. People want to know where their cucumbers are made. People want to know whether or not a banana has traveled the world 4 times before it ends up in your shopping chart, or whether the bananas are produced in a fair way. And this is something that you can facilitate with blockchain technology. You can timestamp each each milestone that the product has completed during the life cycle of a product, so that when you are putting those bananas in your shopping chart in the supermarket and you scan a QR code, you know exactly whether or not the bananas indeed have taken 6 weeks to end up in your shopping chart, or where the farmer is living and whether or not he's being paid in an equal manner. This is where we're going to be focusing on. And we notice with the investor base that we are speaking that a lot of investors are actually intrigued by our business case. And right now we are speaking to a set of investors that are willing to invest. Obviously, they have their prerequisites. They want to see a budget planning. They want to get a feel of how successful we can be. So we are right now in that process. That brings me also to the next question that somebody had about the NDAs. How many NDAs do we currently have? Or I think I already answered it or not. We have like 14 NDAs at this point in time with businesses, with projects, and who knows, even with government bodies. So, yeah, that is really important to mention. Did I forget something else? What is also really important is that to know is that the foundation that was set up by myself, Bob, and Raymond will be unwound. It will be deleted, so to say, and a new foundation will be set up. And why is that? Because in the old foundation, in the Articles of Association, we mentioned specifically Electra Project, and right now we are Electra Protocol. Also, we set up the foundation back in the days in the Netherlands, and we did it because the three of us were Dutch, and it was we needed to set it in a speedy manner, and it was the most convenient way. Right now, 3 community members who have had a leading role in the project and have proven that they are loyal, they have quality and the right ethics and attitude, have been asked to take care of the setup process of a new foundation in Estonia. And once this happens, they will also announce it. What I want to mention, that is basically my last point, is that this foundation will play an even bigger role in the future of the Electra Protocol project, because the foundation will take an active role in how money is spent on marketing, how money is spent on development goals, etc., etc., etc. But this is a topic also for a next moment, and who knows, the new foundation board will hold an NDA for this. Genova, Master help me out. Did I miss something? Another question, perhaps, or?
Yeah, I think Ruan should take the word.
Oh yeah, no, sorry, Ruan. There's only one thing that I want to cover. ETA. Sorry, this is the last part. Electronic Transaction Association. We are involved in that. Actually, Ruan is heavily involved in this, and this is big. The Electronic Transaction Association, from a marketing point of view or exposure point of view, is huge for the Electra Protocol, and in the future also for Evoblox, because in that association all the big players are involved: MasterCard, Google, Apple, Adyen, Circle, Square, and Ruan actually had 3 calls with ETA this week, different set of projects. I actually had a call this evening where I just have discussions about cryptocurrency with a high-placed lady from MasterCard, for example, and it's really cool to be part of that. And I'm also happy to tell you guys that in September I've been asked to do a presentation about cryptocurrency, crypto payments, and of course I will mention XCP now and then during a very big event where all these companies will be present. So I just wanted to mention it, that you guys know that we not only manage here Telegram groups, but are actually active in these kind of groups as well. Rowan, it's for you.
Thanks, Robert. Yeah, so I think I'll continue a little bit about the ETA and even my involvement in with ETA. So I've been involved with ETA for the past 2 years. This year I set up a blockchain cryptocurrency working group, and it's about education. It's about seeing where these big players are at, and are they interested in implementing cryptocurrency payments? What are they thinking? What are the regulations that looking at? So there's a lot of question marks, and I think that we are just navigating exactly what is the the use case and how it's going to affect the existing payment rails that exist today. So very interesting topics. When you talk about cryptocurrency, remember it's more than just what exists today. At the moment it's more about exchanges, about buying and selling and holding, etc., etc. But the use cases as per a coin, there's not a lot of use cases there. There's definitely a huge surge in sort of people using the likes of the Bitcoin and certain coins. That has definitely increased. So we're hoping that in the future, cryptocurrency is going to be used more often. So I think it's all about education, knowing, understanding the payment space and bringing it back into the Electra Protocol environment, and then building systems to then also assist with that. So talking about systems, we definitely developed Electra Pay as a payment gateway using the ZEP blockchain. With the Evoblox company that we've set up, we've decided that it's better for this development to sit in the company. That means we will be able to drive the development, get more developers, and actually create some revenue that we can then feed back into the Electra Protocol project. So we are in the process of setting up the company. We're getting funding, and we're going through a branding, a rebranding, put it that way, with regards to Electra Pay, and that will be revealed shortly. Just a question, to everybody out there, what do you think of the Evoblox name? I think that is quite a cool name for us, the company. So we're hoping that the different people in the community of ZEP can see that blockchain is going to be used more than just buying and selling, and the use cases are going to be growing into the future, especially when we've got smart contracts. I mean, you can set up any company. So I'm hoping that there are entrepreneurs out there, and kind of like do what we're doing with Evoblox. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Electra Pay. I think the first version of Electra Pay was really about accepting payments, allowing a customer to pay, using ZEP, and then the merchant settlement then also happens in ZEP. Okay, so it could be that an e-commerce site, the price of the product might be in US dollars or euros. So basically what we do is we get the exchange rate at that point in time, we convert it to ZEP, and then we show that value in ZEP, and then the customer can pay in ZEP, and then the merchant is, the settlement then will happen at some point in time. And I think it's quite important for you to understand, the normal process that, the fiat rails that exist today, there's a lot of protection, for the consumer when they are purchasing, goods, especially, online, etc., etc. So, only once, the goods have been accepted, the settlement part of the process actually goes through. With blockchain, you're actually taking that middleman completely out. So it changes the whole concept of how payments should work. So you kind of need to create this layer to almost mimic what the normal payment process, how it actually exists today. So that's exactly what ElectraPay does. It is almost like this piece of technology that exists between the blockchain and the current existing systems, and it manages the complexities of a blockchain. So again, the integration for blockchain, we can actually allow the acceptance of Bitcoin, or we can allow the acceptance of ZEP or any other cryptocurrency that we choose to use. One of the things with accepting cryptocurrency, there is the volatility. So the risk sits actually on the merchant side. If they then convert to fiat at a later stage, it could be that there might be a loss of value, during that period. So it's becoming more and more important that the merchant can decide, how they actually get paid. They might not want to accept cryptocurrency, and they might want that to be converted into fiat, so that it sort of alleviates the volatility side of it. Okay, so now I've been talking without my notes and the questions ahead, in front of me. I'm just going to go through and make sure that I have answered some of the questions on ElectraPay. Yeah, so I think, we, at this point in time, we're focusing on almost the plumbing or the foundation of, allowing payments to go through. We're not really focusing on, the target market, if it's, gaming or whatever retail out there. So once that is in place, then, payment gateway, you can actually do, really reach out to anybody out there. Okay, I just want to make sure. Okay, spoke about volatility. Yeah, so I suppose, there are different versions of ElectraPay that will come out. So we're just waiting for, the launch of the company before we, really launch ElectraPay. I just want to say that, the majority of the development has been completed. We've been doing testing. As you know, we have done the integration from the soft POS that we've developed that has been, I think, shared on YouTube recently. So the integration is definitely there. There's a portal that exists where merchants can sign up and, even process payments, specifically from that portal. So you can create an order from the portal itself. It'll quote and send an email quote through to your customer, and then the customer can just actually, use their mobile wallet or QT wallet to do the payment. So it's actually quite seamless, and we're using like latest technology of QR codes, which makes payment a lot easier. And then you're not entering the incorrect wallet address, or you're not entering the incorrect amount. Okay. Let me just make sure if I've covered everything. Okay. Genova or Antoine, is there anything that I have forgotten? Yes. Yeah. So just remember that, part of the development that we are doing, so we've got the ElectraPay, then we've also got the traceability side, where we will then, sort of store almost information with regards to a specific product and track that product, as it goes through the different cycles of that, of the manufacturing process, or, whatever it may be. It could be just tracing a shipment, etc., etc. So, I think that's very powerful, and it's something that is really required. And it can go from medicine to anything out there. So we're definitely focusing on that. We're focusing on smart contracts, as spoken before. But again, we're not going to broaden the development so that we really want to be focused. And, Evoblox has decided to focus on those specific 3 products. Yeah, I think that's it from ElectraPay. So I don't have an ETA, but just the development has been completed. We are fine tuning it, and as soon as we're in the space to do the launch, we'll definitely launch it. And just remember that in the payment space, even though the technology is there, there's still so much that needs to happen on the regulatory side, and the governments, and understanding how it's going to affect the economy. So this is transformational when it comes to how we work with money and economy. So it's going to take time. So this is where ETA does come in. We having those conversations. Part of what I'm doing is I've set up a 6-part webinar where we'll be speaking about cryptocurrency, blockchain 101, educating the man on the street, how blockchain works and what it actually means, and then talking about the sort of payments. We're talking about CBDC. So how does that work? There's one webinar just focused on CBDC. Those are the coins that are going to be backed up by a fiat currency. So it could be USDC, etc., etc. Okay, so I think that is from my side. Have we covered all topics? I think we've covered marketing, we've covered the business side of it, we've covered the blockchain itself and all the technical questions. I think that is it.
Yeah.
So I think we'll just make sure there are no important questions that's coming through in Telegram, and try and answer maybe some questions. We don't want to make the session too long. We know that the concentration of people actually is not even 5 minutes in these days. So the fact that we still have the majority of the community still on. I think when we started off with 75 participants, and we are sitting on between average 80 and 79. So I think we've done well to hold everyone, and everyone is still listening to us. So that is absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, definitely.
I want to add a very last thing about Evoblox and Electra Protocol, because it's a question I have often received. It's related to marketing and how we promote Electra Protocol, or we will promote Evoblox in crypto world. So an important thing is that we don't focus the crypto world at first. There is two ways of doing things. The first one is focus the crypto world, the hype stuff, and everything you see, the DeFi, and you will reach only people running crypto, working in crypto. Our choice, what we decide and what we have in mind, it's the opposite. We don't focus the crypto world, we focus the real world. We focus the bakery at the corner, we focus the company who build cars, who build everything. Well, the so-called usual classic companies. these companies that don't know a lot about blockchain, even don't know at all about cryptocurrency itself, but want to use the blockchain technology. And this one, there is not a lot of project, there is not a lot of blockchain company which are talking to them. And this is our choice, our way of doing things. We focus them at first, and we develop solution for them to be used in the everyday world. It's just wanted to mention this.
Thanks. Thanks.
Thank
I
you,
also
Jeff.
want,
Thank you.
yeah, I just wanted to
Go on.
say thank you to the core team here for taking the time to answer all the questions. I know that we as a team have been working for many years and put a lot of effort and driving the Electra Protocol and now Evoblox. So I just wanted to say thank you, because I think it's many hours of voluntary effort that we have put in to this project, and we definitely encourage other community members to do the same, that what we are trying to do. It is hard work. We believe in blockchain, the technology, and where it's going to take into the future. It's basically going to be the new internet, where internet was sort of how many years ago, 1980s. I think blockchain is there at this point in time. So in another 10-15 years, I think most companies will be using blockchain without even knowing what blockchain really is about. So I think there's an incredible amount of opportunities out there. So think big, guys, and really, we've got a really good blockchain. The Electra Protocol is a really solid blockchain that it is growing, and with smart contracts, the world's what's the saying? Oysters and world. Put the two together. Yeah, so I just wanted to say thank you very much to this team for everything that they put together. I think that's sometimes people don't understand when you're on Telegram and you're asking the questions of the when and the why. The amount of effort and work that goes in to the team is not seen, and sometimes we are very quiet, but we have never ever stopped working. We are doing work outside of Electra Protocol with the ETA. And just the other thing I want to mention, when we started off many years ago, we always had this idea that we want to have partnership with businesses and and integrate blockchain into actual businesses. So those conversations started many years ago, and only really starting to develop now. So it takes time. It's networking, having business partners, and this team has really done an astounding job to get these business deals to where they are at this point in time. So well done so far.
Thank you, Ryan, for the close up, let's say. I think we are all good here. We try to clarify all the questions, at least the critical ones. We want to thank our community joined today, listened, spent at least an hour with us, and hopefully we will do also some other, let's say, AMA sessions later on once we have some time, and once we have some maybe more significant news. This is also possible, but it can happen anytime. But we will inform you in advance, definitely. So enjoy your day and night wherever you are, and thanks once again joining today's session. Thank you.
Thank you, and goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye.